Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to this YouTube video. I'm going to share with you how my day 4 experience was partaking in the plant medicine ceremonies here at Rythmia. I'm going to talk only a little bit today. However, in this same video, you'll see me speaking about this in more detail a couple days from now. And the reason is because I feel very spent. I feel just very tired, and I won't be able to really articulate just how mind-blowingly transformative this last 4 days was, because I need to process and integrate everything. And I can already tell it's starting to happen, but I think I'll be able to give a much fuller review of the culmination of everything, and the day 4 in particular, a day or two from now. But again, it'll take place within this same video. But real briefly, essentially last night was an amazing evening. It was more of a traditional type of ceremony. They brought in this they're all awesome. They really are so amazing. But they brought in this other shaman who I believe is the teacher of many of the other ones that commonly work here. And he was such a unique individual in a very positive way. He had such a depth to his eyes. It wasn't like he was just playing the character of medicine man. He really was living that, and it was evident at the very first glance. When you look into his eyes, they were it's hard to express, but there was just so much depth to it, and he had such a calmness and just such a high vibrational resonance. It was just awesome in a very humble and grounded and playful way. He was such a cool ass guy. In fact, I felt like I wanted to get a picture with him or bring him on, but I didn't think that, I wasn't sure that he would want to do that, so I didn't ask him, but just trust me, he was awesome. And the ceremony was a little bit more traditional in nature, combining some of the other things that they do probably here with, they have different playlists they play. Some of the shamans actually sing, and they've recorded music, and so there's an element of recorded music, but they also did the traditional, I don't know what the right word, but chanting, and the main shaman would sing and play a harmonica and do these different things with all these different types of unique instruments, creating a kind of a complex sound structure that would really influence the tone and the mood of the whole experience. So it was very, very neat. And it was an all-nighter. It started a little bit later, and we went all the way into sunrise. It was a long night for a lot of us. And at the end, this shaman and all of them together would do this healing ritual, I would say, on groups of 8 people. And it was so awesome. For one, just to kind of watch how they all worked together and did their thing. They did all these different techniques about arranging people's energies was so just interesting to watch. But having it done to me when it was my turn, I felt it. All of us, you could tell after about 15 minutes of them doing their thing, which involved a lot of spraying of this type of liquid, and they brought, I'm not going to do it justice by explaining it, so it'd be insulting, I think, if I try to explain it without having such a lack of knowledge. But essentially the experience was just really neat to go through, because I felt my energy lighten up and balance out. And at the end of it, when it was finally time to open my eyes, I felt reborn. I felt that was the icing on the cake, and kind of solidified the entire 4-day transformation. And it was just beautiful, man. It was so amazing. Just all of us had these innocent, childlike grins of just true joy and appreciation for the hard work and the transformation that we've done, because this is not an easy thing to do. You work through a tremendous amount of your issues and unconscious elements of your psyche that are causing us pain, and you rid yourself of them in a pretty systematic, cathartic sort of way. And it takes a lot of courage and strength and spiritual power. So at the end of it, it was just, I know I did. I felt like a badass. I felt like I gained a decade worth of wisdom and experience in only 4 days. So it was just a beautiful experience. And I probably have already mentioned this, but I just want to point out that the arrangement for me to come here was to document it. I explained to them that I'm not going to be dishonest. I'm going to tell people my cut to the chase, no bullshit opinion on the matter. But this is like the real deal. I'm just blown away at every single, just everything they've done is so well conceived and perfect. And I believe that's the case because it's very obvious that this is like a manifestation of the divine will. These are every person working here, the owner, everybody. They are people like just truly as best they can following their hearts and intuition and their instincts and just going with it. And this is like the manifestation when a bunch of people work together with that common intention that is just felt from within. And the expression of it, the experience going through it is extremely hopeful. They are taking people of all walks of life, all around the world, doesn't matter where they're at in their spiritual journey, and raising their frequency and vibration significantly, sending them off far transformed, changed, lighter, better human beings. And then they're taking all those, the new people, and spreading all of that light. This is like a factory of light energy, just raising people's light and frequency and then sending them off. It's fantastic. So now that I'm back home, I will go ahead and take you through my subjective experience with the plant medicine on this particular evening. Essentially, it was very different. They always say that it's different every time. And having done it a couple times, I would find that almost hard to believe. Like, really that different every time? But all the people who were experienced with it would say that. And so far in my 4 times, I can validate that as being true. So the night prior, as I mentioned, was just an epic, that was my life-changing, game-changing transformation that even now it's like, I don't know, maybe a week after, what's today, Friday, so it's over a week after, I'm like, I still am changed. It really got that deep into me, and it's super exciting. But anyway, the following night was very different. It wasn't as challenging. It was more, the first part of it was a lot of healing. I would find myself, hopefully you don't hear my kids too loud in the background. They're going nuts with the boxing gloves. Anyways, I found that there was a lot of healing going on. It was like insights into my personal life, some visuals and stuff, but there was a lot of the sensation of heavy energy, like almost like evaporating, releasing out of my body, one after another. I would kind of relax and let go, and I'd feel something kind of coming up, and then it would, and I just felt like I was getting lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. It was amazing. And then I went up for my second cup. I told the guy, I explained to him, like, last night was pretty crazy. I'm not sure I don't feel super passionate about recreating that. So at the same time, I don't want to wuss out. I said, you give me what you think. I'll let you use your intuition here. And he said, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. And he gave me kind of a smaller amount. He took pity on me. He gave me a kind of a smaller amount. So I went back to my bed. And that was, then the experience did kind of shift for me. I said the first part of it was, the theme was releasing energy, and it was very like, it felt good. And the second part was more like dealing with what I kind of suspected might be the theme for me. For me, it was fear. I've been becoming aware that week of just how like fearful I am, how much fear I carry in unnecessary situations. And I had like the sneaky suspicion that because that was kind of a theme in my life at that time, that it might come up during the ceremony, and it did, in kind of an interesting way. So I felt like my fears projected themselves into the experience, and I found myself where it was very kind of like creepy and eerie, like I was in like a very negative realm. And I was just kind of stuck in where all the visuals were kind of ugly and like crazy and like scary looking basically. And there was this strong tone of fear in my body. But you know what I found? It was quite interesting. I was like looking for the lesson. The night before, my experience would kind of shape itself in a way, and it would almost be trying to tell me something. When I'd realize it, just in my mind, it would change as kind of a confirmation. And I know this sounds kind of maybe a little bit weird, but that wasn't happening this time. It was just, I was just dwelling in this fear realm with all this fear energy, and I was wondering why? Why do I feel this way? Well, what's the lesson? I was looking for a lesson. But after a while, I realized that maybe there is no lesson, but what I noticed is I was becoming comfortable. I was like, okay. I remember like sitting in my bed, kind of with my hands like this, like, all right, yeah, well, so here we are in some kind of devilish hell realm, and I'm filled with fear, and yet I'm cool. I learned that night that I don't have to fear fear. That's pretty profound. That stuck with me too. I realized that if I can handle this degree, this magnified version of fear in all ways, then the little bit of the little bit of fear energy I might pass through in my waking life pales in comparison. So that was very powerful for me too. And that was kind of after that point, I'd come down, and I felt like that was the lesson of the week. That was kind of like the culmination of it. I realized also, just seeing how diverse my experiences were, just how much there is to learn. It's not something that I'm going to go in and get it all in one time. Though I experienced a miracle and a total life transformation, I'm now excited about just the evolution of my own journey, my own personal journey, the story of Victor and how it unfolds and how I go through life. There is just almost an infinite amount to be discovered and to learn about myself and life. And I feel like I'm just on this, like, I have a renewed excitement for just the path of life. So that was kind of my experience that night. Again, I already talked about in the video a little bit about the specifics of how the ceremony went and how it culminated with the healing. But that was kind of my subjective take on the trip, basically. So I'm going to put this into the other video, kind of sandwich it in there, and I'll get back to where you were watching me a minute ago. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed my time. What has happened already has been life-changing and profound on a level I can't even express in words. Not even this video series does it justice. But what's even more impressive is I can already tell the way I'm thinking about my life. It's just it's giving birth to, from changing myself at such a fundamental level. There are these new ideas, these new inspirations and insights about all areas of my life already starting to happen. So it might very well be a few weeks or a month before it really starts to take form, the tremendous shift I've underwent while here. So that's very exciting to me and very hopeful, and I feel great. So I hope you enjoyed this, my friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow with that other video that I was talking about. Have an amazing day. Peace.